Winston, and I have a company called Eat Healthy Houston, and I am a healthy living coach, and also a holistic culinarian, which means that I love to cook, and I teach people how to cook healthy also. And my topic today is eating healthy for healthy hair. A lot of us eat foods that are not supporting us, and it really will show up in your hair. So one thing I want to say first is that I am not a doctor, I am not a nutritionist, but I specialize in teaching people how to eat healthy for themselves. So I don't get into the calorie count and all that craziness that normally people who are in that field do. I actually take a look at what's going on with you. Is that food supporting you? Because a lot of food that we eat does not support us. And sometimes we just don't know, or we just refuse to accept the fact that that hot dog is not working for you. So that's what I do. I've been in this field now for about 9 years, and I love it. And I help my clients to feel good about what they do and how life is, because I heal them holistically, which is that we take a look at the food, we take a look at what's going on in their lives in regards to career, is their spiritual life supporting them, are they exercising, and if their relationships are supporting them and nourishing them. So we take a look at that. So the ladies are passing out handouts, and you will read there on the handouts of the certain foods that you can eat that will actually help to make your hair look more beautiful, and also your nails and your skin. So there's a benefit when you eat those particular type of foods. There is a benefit because it also benefits your nails and your skin. Now, one of the things I want to talk about is that our relationship with food. Now, besides the relationship that we have with God and our Savior, the next relationship that is most important, it ain't your boo, it's not really your kids, it is your relationship with food. Now, when you eat something, whatever it is that you eat, it's going to go into your mouth, you're going to chew it up, and it's going to go into your stomach. Your stomach's going to digest it, and it's going to move on to the small intestines. And in the small intestines, that's where absorption happens. And from absorption, it goes into your blood, and then it goes into the organs in your body, and it will go into your brain, and also it will go into your hair. So junk in, junk out. Now what I have in my hand is actually an organic apple. This lovely apple has no wax on it whatsoever, and you can tell when a produce is organic when the product number starts with a 9. So this lovely apple I have in my hand. I also have, now I used to eat this as a kid, honey buns. I'm just going to touch some souls here in regards to this honey bun. Some of us are very attached to this, very attached. Now, one of the things I like to tell people is that when you eat food, make sure it doesn't have an ingredient listed. Because an apple doesn't have an ingredient listed. There's no ingredients for this apple, but for this honey bun, it's about 35 ingredients. Now, when I was a kid, it didn't have all this stuff in it. Now, mind you, in 1938, that's when the FDA said it was okay for food manufacturers to add chemical, synthetic junk into the food source that we get at the supermarket. And one thing I want to say is that just because it's in the supermarket doesn't mean that it's good for you, doesn't mean that it's right. So that's one of the things I want to point out is that good in, good out, junk in, junk out. I went to a baseball game with one of my sons, and he was just wanting a root beer. He was craving for it, and he knows how I feel